Okay, so today we're working on a vintage Suzuki Intruder 1400. I found this thing at an estate sale for an unbelievable price, and the mileage on it is only 8,239 miles. This thing's in beautiful condition, as you can tell. Of course, I haven't detailed it yet. What I'm going to be doing is changing the front air filter. So the front air filter is located underneath the tank, so you got to remove that. Well, to get to that, you got to remove the front seat, the back seat, and this cover right here. So the first step in doing this is this back rest cover just pulls off. It's got 3 tabs that holds it on, as you can tell. And then there's a key that you have to use the motorcycle key to open that up. So I'll stop right there and get the key and be right back. And by the way, this Suzuki Intruder 1400 is a 2000 year model. This is the model that became the Boulevard, and it's now discontinued. So as I was saying, I'm working on the air filter, the front one. I'm going to change it. So we got to remove the front seat, the back seat. First step was removing the pad for the backrest. Then you take the key, insert it in here, and you remove this cover, and it pulls straight up because it's got little tabs on the bottom of it that stick down there and hold it in. So once you do that, you can't see really down in there, but there's a rubber piece, and that rubber piece goes over as you can see, you just pull that out. It covers the screw that you remove the back seat with. So I'm going to get a Phillips screwdriver and remove that and be right back. Alright, now that I have the screw out, the seat lifts up and you push it forward. Just slide it forward, comes right off, and that's what you end up with. So the next thing we're going to have to do is remove the back mount for the front seat. And these are 10mm bolts, so I'm going to get a 10mm little socket and ratchet and remove these and be right back. Okay, once you have that mount removed, you just lift up on the seat and pull it back. And keep in mind that underneath the computer is right there, so you got to unplug 2 sets of connectors to get to them. Just push the tab and pull them out, and then the seat is off. Just remember, the bike will not start without those plugged in, because right there is the computer. So the next thing is the mount for the tank, and that's those 2 10mm screws, 1 on each side, and that'll loosen the tank. So I'm going to get a socket and take those off. Okay, once that mount removes, you're going to notice there's some rubber bushings. Those things will fall off and get down in places that you can't find them, so take them off and then lift up on the tank slightly and take the bottom ones out as well. See, that one fell down to the ground. This one I actually think I have. So, except for the one on the ground, that's what they look like. So you take them off. The next thing you want to do is, underneath this tank, and I don't know if this is true of all bikes, this is kind of the first one I've seen that has a petcock that you have to turn off, that you can't really see under here, but you got to turn it off before you unhook the fuel lines, or all your gas is going out on the ground, which is not a good thing. So I'm going to turn the camera off, turn that off, and then remove the fuel lines with a pair of pliers just to loosen the clamps and pull the hoses. So I'll see you soon. Alright, since I have both the fuel lines connected and the petcock's off, what I'm going to do is lift up on this and just wiggle it back. It's got a rubber mount in the front that I'll show you once I get the tank off. There's the tank off. And the rubber mount, let me show you where that's at. It's basically right there, as you can see. Just pull it out. Remember the way it's in, the long part's on the bottom, and that'll give you access to the air box, which is connected to the front carburetor. Of course, now we got to take these out, take everything off attached to it. We got to take the tank mount off to get to these, and then we can get to our air box. So as you can see, Phillips screwdriver for these and that. So I'm going to remove those and I'll be right back. Okay, now that you got the cable holder off, the bracket, your air filter's under here. This is the air cleaner box. The problem with this thing is, and this is why I'm taking it back off, if you try to take this top off and try to get it through there and get it out and put the air cleaner back in and put it in without taking this box out, you'll never get it straight on the other end. And what I can hear is it's sucking air, so that means it didn't. See, you can see this one's clipped almost. This one over here isn't clipped, and there's just no way to do it. So I'm going to remove the whole air box, which will require taking this intake hose, or whatever you call that thing, take it off of the carburetor that connects it to the air box, and then you have to go on the front up underneath, and there's actually a nut holding this on. I can't really get to it with the camera right here, but it's behind this, so I have to take that out, and then I'll be able to take the whole air box out, assemble it correctly, and then put it back in. So I'm going to start with a Phillips screwdriver, loosen these, take this off, and then start working on that. So I'll be back at you soon. Okay, one thing I didn't mention is there was a Phillips screw that holds it up front, and you have to take this side cover off to get to the bolt. And basically you loosen the top one right here, you can see a Phillips, and you take the bottom one out, and then at the bottom there's one that holds the bottom on. So if you don't want to bend it, you want to loosen that one as well. I'm going to take it all the way out so I don't bend the bottom of it. Then I can get to the screw that's holding this air box in and take it all the way out. Okay, so now I don't have enough room to get to the bolt up in there to get that air cleaner box out. So I'm going to take this oil cleaner out, and as you can tell right here where my finger is, there's an 8mm bolt on this side, that side, and there's two on the bottom, so I can move it out to get to the bolt from the front. Okay, once I got the oil cooler out of the way, I was able to get right to the bolt. I used a ratcheting wrench, 10mm, took the bolt right out, and then you'll notice on the side it's got a vent hose, and then it's got another hose right here that has to come off and go back on. But as you can see, there's the air cleaner that I put in. You can buy these already cut, but it's cheaper just to buy the thin air filter material and make your own and spray them with Canon or oil, air filter oil. And that's what I did here. But now that it's out, I can get the top back on correctly and make sure I get all this stuff back together with the hoses plugged in so everything's working right. I'm really not a big fan of this air cleaner design system, because you got two of them, one in the front and one in the back, instead of them two connecting. But overall, I mean, this has some cool technology for a 2000 year model. I mean, it's got an oil cooler. Out here in Arizona, you know, water cooled's preferred, but an oil cooler helps a whole lot in the heat. So that's really cool. The thing runs great, smooth, so there's a lot of cool technology, but I'm just not a fan of this air cleaner system. So let me get to putting all this back together, basically in reverse order. Make sure you don't lose any of your parts. You'll be good to go. Alright, this is Kip Peterson checking out.